The parts of the coconut. Now, all of you are familiar with this coconut. It's readily available here. Goa is on the coastal belt, so we have a lot of this coconut trees, so we can do a lot with coconut. And just a briefing about the parts of the coconut here. You have it botanically named as Cocos nucifera, and the picture here depicts the parts of the coconut: the seed, the endocarp, the coconut water, and all these we utilize during our products and in making all the beneficial products, the value-added products, the new products. There are also existing as well as the ones which I will be speaking to you about. Am I audible? Am I audible? Yes. Okay. So the coconut products which are commonly available in the market, you all might be aware of, is desiccated coconut, coconut oil, coconut milk, which is available in Tetra Paks, coconut powder, that is the powdered form of the coconut milk, which we have to dissolve in water and reconstitute it to get the milk, coconut-based sweets, coconut chutney, the wet chutney, coconut toddy, that is what we call it as sur. Now, what are the value-added products from coconut, which I will be discussing in the presentation? I'll be taking up a couple of products. The first is coconut squash. Now, coconut squash is a refreshing drink, and which we normally add to make the squash. In addition to the water, we add ginger and lemon, okay, together with sugar. So this will give it a squash which will be rich in vitamins and minerals, low calorie value, and the shelf life of this product will extend to 3 months under ambient conditions, that is under room temperature conditions. The next I will be speaking about is coconut honey, which is a honey type made from coconut, packed with vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and it's overall very good for the health and well-being of an individual. It has a lower glycemic index. Now, what is the meaning of glycemic index? It is an indicator which, when any food is consumed or any fruit is consumed, the amount of sugar which is present in the bloodstream, okay, is related to a glycemic index. Like, for example, if there is a low glycemic index fruit, it means that when you consume this fruit, the blood sugar which is accumulated in the blood, the sugar accumulated in the blood will be low. So there are different types of fruits which are high glycemic fruits, low glycemic fruits. So coconut is one which is a lower glycemic index fruit, okay, has antibacterial properties. And here we are talking about coconut honey, which will be a product which has antibacterial compounds, which will be against harmful bacteria, and it will boost up the immune system. Next, I'll be discussing about is coconut flour. That is, after expelling the milk, the protein-rich residue which we get is powdered to obtain a flour called the coconut flour. And this has a moisture content of around 3 to 5%, a protein content of 7 to 8%, yeah, and can be used as an ingredient in other flours. In addition, like your atta or other, you can add it to that and make a dough and consume it in the form of a roti, okay, and it has a high fiber too. Coconut chutney, very important in the Indian food and completes the Indian meal. So depending upon your taste, you can make a chutney and enjoy the product. Now we go to the actual process of each of these products, which I have just summarized or rather discussed in brief in the previous slides. First is your coconut squash. How do you go about the making of the squash? You take the tender coconut juice, add sugar in the ratio 1:1. That means 1 part of the juice to 1 part of the sugar. Heat for 10 minutes at a temperature of 95 degrees Celsius. Then we mix the ginger and the lemon juice, that is 0.2% of each. Add citric acid and sodium benzoate. These are the preservatives which are normally used in the squash and the lemonade, which will improve the keeping quality of the product. Cool the product and fill it in sterilized bottles. Previously sterilize the bottles and then you fill your product and then subject it to a heat processing at 121 degrees Celsius. Okay, and then it can be stored. So this is about the coconut squash or lemonade. So if you look at it, it has a mixture of ginger and lemon. It gives you that tangy taste, and it will be an ideal drink during the summer, which will, during the summer, you need to replace your fluid loss due to sweat. So this can be consumed during summer as a refreshing drink. The FSSAI specifications for squash is minimum of fruit juice or puree in the final product has to be 25%. That means 25% of this fruit has to be present in your final product. Total soluble solids, minimum is 40%. Acidity expressed as citric acid, maximum is 3.5%. And the sodium benzoate levels, which can be added, is around 600 milligrams per kg. Coming to the machinery and equipments needed to make this squash, you have a juice extractor, the tender coconut juice extractor, the bottle sterilizer, because you need to sterilize the bottles prior to filling it with the squash, weighing machine to take care of all your weights and measures of the components which are to be added externally, stainless steel tanks for beverage preparation. So you make everything in a stainless steel tank so that it can be easily cleaned. Bottle pasteurizer, after bottling, you pasteurize the bottles, and a labeling machine. The labeling machine can be done manually, or you can go in for a machine which will help you in labeling the product. Okay, so this is about the squash making. The next we go to is coconut honey. Coconut honey is made from coconut milk, which is an extract of coconut with equal quantities of water. To that, you add brown sugar, 60%, and liquid glucose, that is 30%. Boil it in a steam jacketed kettle till the consistency becomes thick. Fill it in, again, pre-sterilized bottles and seal. Now, coconut honey is a proprietary food and has no specifications laid down by FSSAI, right? So the equipment which are used to manufacture this, the machinery, you have a weighing machine, the steam jacketed kettle, you have the blenders to extract the coconut milk, the strainers so that you can strain the coconut milk, and labeling machines, which again, I repeat, can be manually done, or you can go in for a mechanized way of labeling. Next, we go to coconut flour. Now, coconut flour is the residue which is obtained after milk extraction. So you have to blanch the residue, that is, cook the residue after milk extraction, pass it through a screw expeller to reduce the oil content. That means to defat it, removal of the oil. It won't remove every bit of oil, but it will reduce the oil content. So it defats the residue, then dry it, subject it to a dryer so that the moisture content is reduced to 2.5 to 3%. After which you grind it into a fine powder. So as I said, coconut flour can be used in combination with other flours and consumed in the form of a dough or roti or a baked product. The machinery and equipments needed for coconut flour would be a screw expeller, a weighing machine to weigh the components, dryer, a cabinet dryer, so that you ensure that the drying of the residue takes place to reduce the moisture content, packing and sealing the machine, packing and sealing machines, and labeling machines. The next product is your coconut chutney, which is a copra-based product. So it's a kind of a dry chutney where you use the copra, you grate the copra, you roast it. Cobra is nothing but copra, it's the same. So you roast it till there is a slight reduction in the moisture. Remember, the moment the moisture is reduced, our keeping quality will increase. So always in the previous slides, wherever we were talking about moisture reduction, moisture is one of the very important components to which helps or which triggers spoilage. So it has to be reduced to a certain level in order to increase the shelf life. So here again, you roast it so that the moisture is reduced. Then weigh your ingredients. Now in a chutney, it depends upon the ingredients, the formulation of the chutney. For some parts of the country, you may have different taste requirements. Depending on that, you'll add different ingredients. Like for example, your chili powder, red chili powder, ginger, garlic, then your sesame seeds, hing. All this you'll be using depending upon the formulation, depending upon where you're going to market the product, whether you market in the south of the country or the north of the country. Each one will have its own formulation. So based on the formulations, you weigh your ingredients, roast it along with the grated coconut, grind all the ingredients into a fine particle size, and then pack it into polyethylene pouches or laminate pouches, right? So since this is a dried product, the shelf life will increase because everything is dried and roasted. Chances of spoilage are negligent. What are the machinery and equipment which is used to manufacture this? So you have a grater, a weighing machine, a grinder, packing and sealing machines, and labeling machines. Depending upon whether you want to manually label it, you can go in for manual labeling, or you can purchase a labeling machine, right? So in a nutshell, these are the few products which I've taken up and I've explained it to you. I would be happy if you have any questions with respect to this, so that we can answer any of your questions if you have any. Hello, am I audible? Hello?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Yes. So any questions? There are 4 products which I've taken. There are all other products in the market, but I just restricted myself to a few which are not available in the market. So if you have any questions with respect to this, you can just ask.
Ma'am, we have a question in the chat box.
Yes.
There are two questions actually. I think you handle the first half. What are some of the precautions we need to take while packing coconut flour?
Just a minute. I cannot hear you properly. Can you come back to me? What are the
precautions we need
precautions we need
to take while packing coconut flour?
Okay, what are the precautions we need to take while packing coconut flour? Okay. Moisture, very, very important is moisture content. The moisture has to be low. You cannot pack a product with a high moisture content, because after packing, you have to keep it for a shelf life study. And during the shelf life study, if there is a high moisture content, the packet will bulge, which indicates there is some mold infestation taking place over there. And the bulging is not a very good attribute. So you need to take care of your moisture and see that it is reduced. Okay.
Okay. And okay, ma'am. And there is a second part to the question.
Second part, yeah.
It's for the department, so I'll deal with that.
I can't hear you. Can you come again, please?
He has asked, does the department give an idea about the machineries?
Yes. Now, see, the department basically, I'll just give you a little briefing about our department. We are an academic institution, so we conduct a course in a diploma in food technology, as ma'am has already spoken at the introductory session. Now, at the department, we are occupied for around approximately 8 months in a year with our academics. We have 2 semesters running. But after the semester, we can kind of help out people who have queries with respect to their businesses. And if they want to help us, if you want us to help you with certain machinery and equipment, how to go about it. But since we are in a government organization, you'll have to go through the proper procedures coming through the authorities. So you'll have to write a letter to the principal, then the principal will mark it to us. You cannot come directly to us. We would be all willing to help you out. So it has to go through proper channels, right? Yeah. So that's what I have to say about help with respect to the question which you just put up.
Okay, ma'am. There's another question.
Yes.
While making coconut squash.
Yes, while making coconut squash.
Tender coconut or normal coconut?
You use tender coconut, not normal coconut water. Tender coconut water is normally used for the squash, and then you add your ginger and the lemon, okay, to increase the tanginess and make it a squash which will be a refreshing product, right? And in addition to that, sugar too, because to increase the sweetness. Now, lemon will also contribute to as a preservative, sugar and lemon, because lemon is ascorbic acid, it has, so some amount of acidity will be there. So it will act as a preservative together with sugar. So tender coconut water is used. Okay. Am I audible?
Yes. Yes, ma'am, you are audible. Are there any more questions?
Any more questions?
I think, ma'am, there are no more questions.
Okay.
On behalf of the Department of Industries, Trade and Commerce, I thank you. And I would like to also extend my gratitude to Ms. Poorna, who happened to give us a session yesterday.
Yes. Thank you very much, friends, for being very patient listeners. And for any queries, you can always get back to us. We will be all too happy to help you out. Thanks for giving us an opportunity to be with you all today and collaborate with our Department of Food Technology, Government Polytechnic, Tangent. Thank you so much.
Ma'am, there is a question.
Yes, what's the question?
What grinder is used to make chutney?
What grinder is used to make chutney? The dry grinder, because it's a dry product, right? So you'll have to use a dry grinder. Okay. The chutney is a dried chutney. It's not the wet chutney we're talking about. The one which I just spoke to you is a dry product. So we'll need a dry grinder to kind of do the grinding.
Vanisha, in case you're able to speak, are you into food processing? Do you have any business in food processing?
No, that question is to me.
No, ma'am. I was just asking her, the girl who has asked the question.
Okay.
Yeah. Swapnil, what about you? Are you into food processing? Ma'am, there is a question. Vanisha has asked, what about...
What's the question? Tell me, what is the question?
She's asked, what about coconut oil? Vanisha, could you please clarify what exactly you need to know about coconut oil?
The coconut oil. Okay. What is the question?
Ma'am, she needs to know about coconut oil processing. Like, what are the machineries that she would require? Or what are the techniques?
For coconut oil processing and the machineries.
Yes.
Expeller. We need a screw expeller. Okay. A screw expeller to extract the oil. Because it's from copra, right? So you need to use a machine which will help you to extract the oil from copra. So the screw expeller will do the job.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes. Yes. Anything else?
I don't think so, ma'am. There are no more questions in the chat box as of now.
Okay.
I'll just like to mention once again that if anybody out there is interested in order to join the course related to the food processing or food technology, then you all may get in touch with the faculty.
I just add a line over here to what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah. So, friends, we offer a diploma in food technology, which is a 3.5-year course after 10th standard, right? Which has a inbuilt training exposure to each and every student joining this course. We send them for training to all the most of the industries. Like in Goa, we have Goa Dairy, we have Monginis. Then that is industry which we send our students at the initial stage. And towards the end of the course, we ask them to choose their industries of choice. And some of them select industries out of Goa, depending upon what is their interest after learning the all the subjects during the whole 3.5 years. They express their interest and they learn, they want to work in industries of their choice. So like some may wanted to go in for some fruit and vegetable processing. So we send them to industries which have products which related to that. Then some are interested in dairy, so we send them to a dairy if they show interest. So like this, we send them to industries, which is a very important part of our course. It's like a sandwich course. So they learn subjects, they learn theory, as well as they get an exposure to industry. And in addition to this, we teach them to become entrepreneurs. So at the end of their course, they are having a very good knowledge of all areas which are covered in our whole course, because our subjects are so concise. We have every food product dealt in detail with respect to analysis, with respect to the safety requirements, with respect to sanitation. Bottled drinking water also is covered in this course. And it's a very intense course. It's a 3.5 years, but very intense. And students can go into industry, can go in for further studies by doing a degree, BTech, and they jump into the second year directly after their diploma program in food technology, which is offered here at Government Polytechnic, Panjim. Right now, the admissions are on at the Directorate of Technical Education. So you can submit your forms, you get it on the prospectus, which is we can share it to you if you want the details. It is at the Directorate of Technical Education. You go to the website, download the application form, fill it and just submit it. The dates are 21st to the 30th of April. These are the dates they accept the forms. Okay. And the process, centralized admission process takes place. So if any of you need any more information about entry into this course, you can always communicate to the department. Thank you very much. And all the very best to you all, in each of you entrepreneurs in your business ventures. God bless you all.
Thank you, ma'am. Also, we would like to request you that if when you come across the fact that you all are also into the food processing sector in terms of education, I'm sure the students who have passed out from your colleges, some of them, or I would say most of them, who are into entrepreneurs or any business as such. So we would also request you to kindly get in touch with them and let them know that there are schemes available to the government.
Surely, you all are doing a really good job. Really good job. Yeah.
Thank you. So, because until unless we talk about it, people are not going to really know that things like these exist. So, we would like to request you and your department to kindly spread the word about this scheme. Also, I'm like to request all the audience over here that in case anybody amongst you is interested to start any business pertaining to food processing, you all can get in touch with us. Our office is at Directorate of Industries, Trade and Commerce, Udyog Bhavan. We have a team over here which deals with the documentation process of the scheme, and all the documents that are required are very basic documents. In case you all need any help with respect to the documentation, then we have DRPs on field who help you right from day one till the time you get the subsidy and all the benefits of the scheme. So with that, we would like to conclude today's webinar. I thank you all once again for taking out time and joining the session today. And also thank you to the faculties of the Food Tech Department from Government Polytechnic, Altino, for sparing your time and delivering such wonderful sessions for us. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.